It's time now for the Casey Ingram Show on WSTU. The opinions expressed are those of the program host and guest and not necessarily those of WSTU. WSTU does not endorse products that may be mentioned. Any reproduction or retransmission of this broadcast is strictly prohibited without written consent of WSTU. It's time to call in with your questions and comments at 220-9788, 220-WSTU. And now, here's Casey Ingram.
Good morning, Stuart. We are live and well here. We're going to have some fun this morning. All right. We're already having fun already. This is we got Jenny Fields in the studio with us this morning. She is Martin County's property appraiser, and she has been that since our election in November. And invited her to come in, and she was excited to tell us about all the things that the property office is doing. And there's a lot. But before we do that, I have a really quick announcement. One, if you want to be on the email list, I let everybody know who the guest will be in the studio. You can do that at my website, thecaseyingram.com. Sign up and I'll let you know who will be in the studio. And secondly, if y'all remember Meridian Marina, they recently sold, but they have a boat that has it's a dealer boat, and trying to get rid of it. It's a dealer demo. It has a Suzuki motor on it, 5-year warranty, brand new warranty on this motor, 200 horsepower. It's a Tiburon ZX25, 25-foot boat. This baby is 200 horsepower. It's fast. I'll tell you what, I've been on that thing. It just takes all the wrinkles out. It's wonderful when you go. So great fishing boat. It's a flats boat. It runs actually in 6 inches of water, if you can believe that. And, they're asking just $59,900 for it. The MSRP on it is $90,000, but just want this boat gone. 5-year warranty, 200 horsepower motor, $59,900. So give me a jingle, 772-888-5828, and I can get you connected to the right person to tell you about that boat, or just message me on Facebook. All right, enough of that. That boat kind of sounds like fun now, doesn't it?
Sounds pretty good.
I know. It's like, that'd be kind of fun to go tubing on. Forget about fishing. But Jenny Fields, it's a pleasure to have you back.
Thank you, Casey.
I've been watching the property appraiser's office since you have taken over the helm, and boy, there have been some wonderful changes.
Yes. First, thank you for having me here again. I always love talking to you, and I love your show. So thank you. I'm happy to be here. First, I need to do a shout out to my team of professionals at the office. Everything that we've gone through, like you said, since the time I was sworn in January, it's been phenomenal. And to accomplish what we've accomplished in just, 5 months since the inauguration, it's astounding. And that team of professionals, I'm so proud of each and every one of them. I'm honored to work with them. They're so smart and so creative, and none of that would have been done in the 5 months had I not had such an amazing team. So first, I wanted to say that. Right off the bat, obviously you've been on our website. That was a whole new thing that went live in January. We wanted a new feel, a new skin, just something to give it a different look. And so that was right out the gate. We have our CAMA conversion. CAMA stands for Computer Assisted Mass Appraisal System. All 67 counties in Florida use a CAMA system for their valuation software. Well, we planned this 5 years ago, and we went live in December. So right now we're in our peak production period where we're looking at all the market last year. We're analyzing the sales. We're establishing our values. And to do that on a brand new system, there was apprehension. Everyone was going into our production year like, this is new, but they have all embraced it. It's everyone is the excitement in the office because now they're starting to see the potential that this system has. But just some of the benefits, our old legacy system, we had 3 different applications that all had to talk to each other, all different, which when you're trying to get applications talk that aren't, part of the same thing, it's everything's in one now. And not only is everything in one application, we pulled in our imagery in there, our geographic information system, which is our mapping, that's pulled in, which makes appraisal so nice when you can do it by maps. Our downtime, we used to be down in our legacy system. Just to process a tax roll could take a week to 10 days. Wow. We're going to have virtually no downtime at all. Wow. So if you think about the cost savings from just our professionals and the time that they're out of production and, SOPs, everyone's looking at their SOPs for everything. Just to process a roll, it was a 30-page document. It literally went down to 15.
Wow.
So when you just look at that's one process. So everyone is really excited. And so that has taken up that's our focus so far this year. And but it does amazing things. And we're only beginning to tap into the potential of this application. It's crazy.
And folks, I can tell you, just Google Martin County Property Appraiser. It takes you to the site. But I have been on that site. I use it all the time. And it's incredible how different it is from the old system. And I love it. The imagery is amazing. Talks about sales this year, last year. I mean, realtors are going to just dig this in a really big way.
Yeah. And change is hard when you're used to coming to our site and seeing the old legacy system. We knew we were going to have to launch a new website. And so we worked right alongside planning for this CAMA conversion. We've been designing the real property search, the sales search. So that launched about 2 weeks ago. And it's amazing. And, it is different. And just to give you some tips, if anyone's out there on the site, when you're looking under the real property search, always remember less is best. Don't try to put in the whole entire address to a T. Street number, street name, that's all you need. If you want to see everything on Flagler, just type in Flagler. And then when the results come back, every column is sortable. Just click at the top of the column and you can get them all in order. So it's phenomenal. And it's really, we have so many more features coming with it. But feedback, if you use it, and we have an online web chat, so we're constantly getting like, how do I do this? And I'm not doing this right. And all that does is just give us more ideas. And we have the flexibility now to make the changes live on our website. So there's constantly stuff new happening every day.
That's incredible. If you have a question or comment for Jenny, you can certainly join us on Facebook Live, but also call the studio, 772-220-9788. That's 220-WSTU. Jenny, it's a fun program. That's incredible that you have the live chat. That's new.
Yes, that's great, because a lot of people, they just get stuck. They have one thing they need to ask or somewhere, and we can direct them anywhere. A lot of times it's a question that may not have anything to do with our office, but we'll send them the link. They can click on the link and it takes them right there. So it's that instant, everybody wants just instant questions, and I think it's great. I'm on it. I log in every day. You'll come on. I just had someone yesterday and they typed in and said, how do I get a hold of Jenny Fields? And I'm like, I'm right here. What can I do for you? But it helps me. It helps me see what we're seeing, where the difficulties are lying, and how can we make things better. And it just gives me that visibility, and I love it.
It's a big change, and that's something that has come already for you folks to come and look at it. You talked about property values. I imagine that's going to be a huge change, because right now properties are not on the market. They list them, they're sold, they have multiple offers. I mean, the values.
Sometimes a bidding war. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Values are going up. It's going to be incredible this year.
Residential values. Yeah. It's no secret. They are going up this year, and it's on fire, and there's no doubt about it. They are going to have an increase this year. Commercial is a little different. Obviously everybody knows commercial was impacted
Retail,
by COVID.
Yeah.
Right. And I think, it really comes down to looking at what uses. Not all commercial uses were affected. When you have a period of time last year where businesses were working from home, you had a lot more online shoppers. The retail and the office kind of was questionable. But then you have the industrial warehouse and all of that. They were already booming. And now, because of that, they took off. I mean, they're huge too. So it's really just comes down to analyzing. We sent out questionnaires to all of our commercial properties. I'm asking them what concessions did you make during COVID? And, quite honestly, we're not seeing a lot of response that had to do with they're doing great. Everyone is really bouncing back. But there are some commercial that have been affected. We are seeing it. So, there might be some, but, all in all, I think last year was, it's a hot market right now.
Rough for some, but and the real estate actually was surprising to me. I thought that would tank with COVID, and it went the opposite way. Especially here in Florida.
And still, it's, it's definitely a buyer's market. I mean, a seller's market. Right. But it's.
So tell us for the buyers, what does that mean exactly for their real estate values? So if you already own a home and your value just increased $200,000, let's say, are my taxes going to go up by that amount even though I already own the home?
Okay. No. So if you have homestead exemption, obviously homestead exemption, if you're you live here and you filed for your homestead, your assessed value, which is actually what your taxes are based on, that's capped at a maximum increase of 3%. So no matter what the market does, your market could jump 8%. Your assessed is maximum going up 3%. And actually this year it's 3% or the consumer price index. This year the consumer price index came in lower at 1.4.
Okay.
So your assessed value is only going up 1.4%.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the market will show what the market is, but your assessed is what is
Okay.
what's capped.
Okay. So the
Mhm.
people that are buying the property,
Right.
that's the one that it could be a big jump from what, if you looked at the historical taxes.
Well, that's just it. And typically before portability, if when a property sold, that was always when you were able to bring the assessed value back up to market. It kind of resets. And so that was always that buyer beware, because like you said, if you were
Yes.
looking at last year's taxes, you could be looking at somebody who had homestead for 50 years, and so
Right.
they're limited. But now they have portability. So if you're buying somewhere else in Florida, if you sell and you buy somewhere else in Florida within 3 years and file for homestead, whatever Save Our Homes benefit, that difference between your
Yes.
market and your assessed,
Right.
subtract the two, that's your Save Our Homes
Oh,
benefit. It's
okay.
listed on your trim notice every August.
Okay.
That amount you take with you to your new property.
Ah.
So now you might have purchased it, and let's say it resets back up to the 300,000. But if you're porting over 85,000, now your assess starts out at whatever it is.
Wonderful.
Yeah. So
Wonderful.
portability is huge. But it also means that you don't reset a lot. People are taking their portability with them.
Is that something you have to bring to the property appraiser's office, or do you
It's a
keep track
question.
of that?
No, we keep track. As soon as you
Okay.
file for homestead, they'll ask you, did you claim homestead in any other county in
Okay.
Florida? And if you say yes, then there's a whole thing. We have a form we fill out. It's an application, and we send it to that county. And then that county lets us know what your market and assessed were there, how much port you have. And
See, folks, and you thought they were just looking at the sale price and that was all there is to
No.
it. It's so much
Yeah.
more.
so much more, so much more.
So Scott Watson, thanks for tuning in. And he says, this is funny.
Okay.
Jenny, I'm pretty sure the value of my properties have gone down this past year.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
We'll see.
Yeah.
But nobody
Feel free
wants
to come in, though. We'll look at it.
nobody wants to pay more property
Yeah.
taxes. But
But it is
everybody
that,
pays their
that
share.
benefit of the cap. Really, it's huge. No
Right.
matter what, that homestead exemption will protect you from that increase.
It is huge. And I had the opportunity to kind of see your office working a little while back, and it's impressive. For example, you see the layout of homes or business properties, commercial properties in the system. You actually have somebody in the office that has to draw those up.
Oh, and this new system, our sketching group is so excited because this new CAMA system, you can actually take a set of plans and put it into a PDF. And you can turn your CAMA system transparent, and the plans come behind it, and you can literally trace from the
Wow.
plans, and it sets it to scale. I mean, it takes the sketching program no time at all. Just the amount of, and especially when you see all the new construction coming online,
Right.
we know we have that to look forward to. You can copy a house, paste it on another one, especially if you get in a neighborhood where there's models,
Right,
and
right.
so you don't have to resketch them all the time. It's amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
your department must absolutely love
They
that.
love it. They
So
love it.
It
Yeah.
is, but it's a thing of beauty
Mhm.
to watch the property appraiser's office. It actually is very large. How many staff do you have?
We have 42.
42, and there's a lot of
Mhm.
offices. It's a big office,
Yes.
and
Mhm.
it's a big nut to run.
It's great. It's great. It's very diverse. We have a lot going on.
You do, and
Mhm.
I also noticed you had an acronym here. Again, you're trying new principles and team things within the office, and it's Martin. Of course, we know where that came from, but what does Martin
Our
stand
guiding
for?
principles. One of the things that I did right after my inauguration is I didn't want this to be about me. This is about my team, and it's about what we do for our community. And I wanted it to come from them. So the first thing I did is I emailed my entire staff of professionals. And I said, what does it mean? What does our office mean to you? What do you want if you were to come in, or your grandmother was to walk into our office? How do you want them to be treated? How, what do you think were important? And
Right.
I got everyone's responses, and overwhelmingly those guiding principles that stand for Martin, that was overwhelmingly what everybody said. They just want they want to make you feel like family. They want us to, be innovative. They want us to troubleshoot things. They want to treat you with respect. And I always said that if that was your grandmother that walked in across from you, how would you treat them? And so that's how we treat each other. Our culture in our office is just one with respect and so that's how our guiding principles came about.
Oh, it's wonderful, and
Mhm.
I like how you brought the staff in, and you're absolutely right. If that's grandma going into the office,
Mhm.
how do you want your grandma to
Right.
be treated? We're going to treat
Yeah.
every customer like that, and appreciate the transparency. Eric Miller, thanks for tuning in. He said it's nice to have a person we can trust in a constitutional office.
Thank you, Eric.
So, it's transparency in office
Yeah.
and making sure, because at the end of the day, you work for the people, right?
You do,
The
and you
office
have
does.
to treat everybody with kindness and respect, because not everything we do is good news. you could be denying an exemption. You could be denying an ag classification, and you could be taking one away. Somebody might not have qualified for something. And, it's not always good news, but so that's why it was important to me. But just remember what they're going through and try to sympathize with their situation, and, try to just be fair and discuss it with them, and just so they understand.
Absolutely. So Jenny, you've been with the property appraiser's office for, was it 3 decades?
32 years last Saturday.
Okay. 32 years.
Yeah.
Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you.
So I don't know if you really saw a lot of anything that surprised you since taking over the helm from Laurel Kelly. Was there anything that because you were number 2 in charge for a very long time.
Right.
So
not really. It's been like, it's been so comfortable. To me, it's just switching offices. That's all I did. I'm still working hands on with everyone in the office. I'm still helping them with their reports. I'm still passing off information that I was doing. And so I'm just a hands-on kind of a person. I was the worker bee, and I don't think that's going to change just because I'm in a different office. I'm still a worker bee. I'm still involved. I care about what they're doing because I've been there. I've done what they're doing, and I know the pressures they're under. And, everyone knows you can just walk in and just, if you need help, I'll enter some deeds for you, or I'll draw that sketch if you're behind, or, that's just the way. But I haven't had many shocks. I will say that, we're in the budget time and looking at that and delving deeper into that than I normally had before. I was always had visibility of the budget and helped watch them putting it together and work with Laurel and that. But just from the very beginning, it's amazing what they do and what they track. But it's just been like an old shoe for me. I love it.
It's absolutely wonderful. And I have to say too, been in the lobby, if you don't have a computer at home, or if you're having trouble with anything to do with your property, you have a computer set up right there in the lobby where you folks come out, you help a person that comes into the office.
Absolutely. And like I said, they can call, we'll sit on the phone with them and we'll talk to them, but you can come in anytime. If you just want to, as a matter of fact, I wanted to touch a little bit on my community outreach.
Yes.
Because that is so exciting right now, because I know that was a big thing that I wanted to accomplish in my tenure was outreach.
It's a new position.
It's a new position we created for this office. And it's a community outreach specialist. And that person, her name is Corey Rubal. And she's already, we're, establishing our new Instagram page and setting up Facebook. We're going to be having all kinds of marketing materials based on information.
Perfect.
We're getting out into all the publications. She's setting up sort of like a Jenny tour where I bring my team of professionals with me, any topics. There's so many misconceptions out there with TPP, ag misconceptions. People don't understand. And I just want them to understand and learn about it. And that's my whole goal, is to get out there. And whether that's social media, we're going to have an event, or not an event, a community outreach calendar. It's all going to be on our website. You can actually look and see where we're going to be, what time.
So they can come meet you.
We are going to be in your face.
And folks, let's got some funny comments coming in here on Facebook, but folks, let's help Corey out a little bit. If you're on Facebook, Instagram, like the Martin County Property Appraisers page. She's going to be doing
you're going to want to
do
that, because there's going to be so many posts. There's going to be informational videos. There's going to be we're going to do a series on, wow, I didn't know that. Because there's so many times I'll be going somewhere and say something and somebody goes, oh, I didn't know that. I want everybody to know those things, Right. So there's just going to be even if it's a snippet, things you might learn, they're going to be on there all the time. And so it's just go on the Facebook. When we get the Instagram, we'll post it. Follow the page. You'll be surprised. It's going to be great.
They're noticing your energy here on Facebook. They can
I know.
tell.
I'm so excited. I am. I
Over
love
30 years in that office, and look at the excitement and energy she is bringing to this position.
Laurel, that's a tough act to follow. She did amazing. But, it's always just had to take it to another level. And I'm, now with technology, there's just a whole nother level, and we've brainstormed on it. We have a plan. It's just really, and just the vibe everyone's getting with the new system. It's just going to be really exciting.
Well, Laurel knew, she endorsed you. So she, obviously you were her pick to take over her shoes, and certainly a wonderful pick it has been.
Thank you.
Just here, David Hafner, Dawn Jashinsky is a great resource for the agricultural property owners of Martin County.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Dawn Jasinski is our agricultural appraiser. Yeah, she does a
wonderful.
great job.
That is absolutely wonderful.
That's challenging. It's a challenging job, but she does it so well.
Well, Jenny, and that's what we talked about when you were running for office. Is there's so many different classifications of property, and that's just one of them. But you really need to. Each one is its own set of rules, its own principles, and you can't compare agricultural to any other industrial company or commercial company. So,
and it's just important because there are so many rules. Educate yourself, and that's what I'm going to be doing for you. I'm going to be making sure that you don't get snagged up on some technicality or something. I just want you to understand how many benefits are available, what to do, what not to do, what to look ahead for. If you plan on selling your property, these are the things you need to do. So, I mean, it's just getting out there and helping everybody understand real property 101, so.
Well, and your transparency is absolutely huge. And that I think everybody's going to appreciate so much. The community outreach coordinator, so important. And that is something that many offices don't have, but it's that bridge to bring the people to your office, to you, and going on a tour, a speaking tour. I mean, folks, if you want to meet our property appraiser, you'll have a lot of opportunity.
Reaching out to the HOAs, letting them know what it means, what their trim notice means, and what exemptions we have available. And we'll come talk to you. If you have an organization, we're going to host meet and greets, and where people can sign up, come learn how to use the website. Learn about. We'll put a topic out there, and if it interests you, come in. We'll host them in our conference room, or we'll come to you. You let us know, and
100%. Jenny Fields, this has been absolutely wonderful. Again, folks, we got a couple minutes left here, but Martin County Property Appraiser, got to check out their new website. Yes. That is awesome. And just play around with it a little bit. Look at the maps. There's little icons at the top of the page, and that's where you can sort through in different areas.
Those icons, soon we'll have a link to their permits, and so that'll be coming.
Oh my goodness, are you kidding?
Soon. It'll take them to the permit page where they can search their permits on the individual sites. But we're just the more we can give them what they need to do from our site.
Yes.
That's our goal, but always check back. If you have any problems, please, I'm open, give me feedback because we can improve it. And that's, we just appreciate the feedback, whether it's good or bad.
Either way. And
either way,
bad can improve it and make it good.
And we've already put enhancements on there because of, work better if it did this. And we're like, oh my gosh, you're exactly right.
So you're able to do that. So this system sounds like it's super user-friendly for your staff. You're able to really react quickly to people's suggestions. And, that's awesome just with the property appraiser's office, how much that it is reactive. If somebody has a problem with their taxes, they said, Jenny, I don't think my property's worth this much. What happens?
If they come in, I would have them come in if they don't think it's, our team of appraisers, they are so welcoming. Come in, sit down. Let me show you your comps. Let me explain to you how we look at your house value. Let me explain what depreciation is. You'll leave and you'll have a complete understanding. I encourage everyone to go to the website, look at the learn more section. It tells you about it. But any given time, you don't have to make an appointment. You can walk right into our office and meet with any appraiser any time of the day.
So important. Again, transparency in government offices is so important, and you're bringing it. Eric Miller says, good job, Jenny. Get government out of the way, being transparent. And he said he'll bring a beer to one of your meet and greets.
Thank you.
Everybody says cheers. So, but lots of positive feedback here on Facebook. I think people are super happy with the direction of the property appraiser's office. Laurel always did an amazing job, and you are just the perfect person to bring it to another level.
Well, I just encourage everybody to stay tuned because there's so much more that's going to be coming, and it's just all exciting.
You'll have to come back and share with us a little bit more. And
I love
Corey, we love to see her out in the community, and everybody's going to be meeting her. So many great things happening at the property appraiser's office. Thank you for coming in today, Jenny.
Problem. So happy to be here.
We love to have you here. We're going to have Ruth Petraszewski in next, the tax collector. So it's going to be a good government day. We're talking about all our constitutional offices. So she'll be in next, and we'll be right back shortly after this break. Thank you, Jenny. We are back for our second half here this morning, and another constitutional office leader and one of her amazing staff is here in the studio. We have Ruth Petrosiewski. Please tell me I'm finally pronouncing that at least partially right after all these years. Okay, Ruth. Ruth Ski. I just need to stay with that. But everybody knows the name because we all write our checks out to your name. So we all know that. But Ruth, you brought in with you today wonderful staff, Monica Velli.
Yes.
And she is the chief of the motor services. So, it's the staff that really makes the office run so smoothly, and appreciate you coming in today. And we're going to talk a lot about what's happening here in the tax collector office. We just had the property appraiser in, and now we're going to hear about the tax collector
And I want to
office.
thank you for giving us the opportunity to be on your show.
Ruth, always
Thank
my
you very
pleasure.
much.
Always my pleasure.
Um,
She's a
well-
repeat guest. Before we get into the show, I want to let everybody know there's a wonderful boat Meridian Marina has that they need to sell. It's a dealer demo, and it's the last one. The MSRP on the boat was $90,000. They're blowing it out at $59,900. It's a 2018 Tiburon flats boat, but it has a brand new Suzuki 200 horsepower motor, has not been titled, so a full 5-year registry. I know it, 5 years warranty. And Ray's going, ooh, that's cool. Ray's my engineer. Tell you what, this boat's fast. It runs in 6 inches of water. It's a 200 horsepower motor, and when it cruises out, believe me, it blows your hair back. So, and I said in the previous show, it takes your wrinkles out. And yeah, Ray, you lost your hair when you're on that boat. So great boat though. It has a lot of features. If you want to hear more about it, give me a call or message me on Facebook. My phone is 772-888-5828, and I can get you in touch with the right person. 772-888-5828. It's a Tiburon, beautiful blue boat, and fast. So Ruth, now that we got the ad out of the way, let's talk about what's happening here in the tax collector
There's
office.
always lots happening. We're unlike any other constitutional office because we operate on funds that we earn from the services we provide. So we have to stay alert, on top of everything, efficient and cost effective. My constitutional duties include being an agent for 3 government agencies: Department of Revenue, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation, and Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle.
Wow.
And Highway Safety and Motor Vehicle is fast paced every day, all day. Well, I decided to partner with 5 additional government agencies to bring in more revenue for 2 main purposes. First, to take the burden of the taxes off our rooftops. And secondly, a convenience for the taxpayers to get all these services that they need locally. I just listed a few of the new ones that we started. We have a pay hub where you can go online and pay for your vehicles, your property tax, your business tax, your tourist
Nice.
development tax, all in one spot. You don't have to even remember our phone number anymore. Anywhere in Martin County, you press pound TAX and it goes right to our information center. We offer same day, next day tag service now. You have to log in before 2:00 if you do get your tag or your decal that day. Otherwise, it'll be the next day, and we offer that at all 4 offices. Now, I partnered with Homeland Security to bring TSA and TWIC services to Martin County. And the TSA, the benefits of that are that there are shorter lines at the airport. Customers don't need to take off their shoes, their belt, or empty their backpack. Now, that is $85 for 5 years. And they don't do the one where you get it for free at the airport. They stopped doing the courtesy pre-checks. So we have TSA, and it's only at the Palm City office. We have TWIC, which is the Transportation Workers Identification Card, and that's $125 for the 5 years. So you can walk in, or you can make an appointment online if you want to. And I brought this email when we first started from the federal government, and it states that you're performing better than any site that I've ever known. Now,
Wow.
that's
Wow.
federal. That's
Congratulations.
yes.
That's huge.
So
Absolutely.
anyway, you need a driver's license and either a birth certificate or a passport. Well, we have a nifty little service for if you don't have a birth certificate.
This is like a one-stop shop here.
Oh, everything.
It's incredible.
We've made it so convenient. Here's the map. Now, all you have to do, you need to remember your mother's maiden name.
Okay.
You pick the state that you were born in, not you reside in.
Okay.
Now, Texas, North Carolina, Maryland, and Washington are the only state that don't do it.
Okay.
So you can get your birth record certified immediately to get your TSA pre-check card we call, and in a few minutes, and on this map, and I brought you a map so you can keep it.
Wonderful.
It's got the dollar amount that it's going to charge you. And this year here that's stamped on here, like 1868, that means if you're born after 1868, they will certify.
Which I think most of us are.
Yeah. So that's the easy way to get your TSA if you don't have a birth certificate. And I have that map on my website.
It's on the website.
Yeah.
I'll put it down in the comments after the show so people can click on it.
Now, for people that need a paper birth certificate, I partnered with the Department of Health and Vital Statistics, and we issue paper Florida-born birth certificates at the Palm City office also.
Okay.
And in the Indiantown office. Now, I don't do it at Willoughby because the health department is in our parking lot, and I don't want to take their business away from them.
Okay.
And I originally, the way we ended up finding all these services is when we try to help somebody and we see what people need, we implement a new service. And the reason we brought the birth certificates is because when we started going real ID compliant with the driver's licenses, a lot of people didn't have a birth certificate. So now we can print the birth certificate on the spot, and they don't have to worry about finding one or getting one sent to them. We also have a live death file in all of the offices. So if you have a death, and I know because I went through this, you don't have to bring a death certificate. They're expensive, plus they bring up all the sadness. So we have the death file in all our office files. So when you go in, you can transfer your vehicles and not even bring it up to staff.
Wow.
Yes, takes care of them. We care about the people we serve. We really do. We do things to make life easier, less stressful, and quick. Everybody likes quick.
Well, all these updates you're doing, there's just so much in your office. And for me, I mean, the TSA one is the most exciting one. I changed my last name. I married a few years ago. And of course, that made my other TSA pass. It made it exempt or whatever it does. They can't use it. It's a different name. So I have to go in and get a new one.
They can renew them online, but you change your name. So now you're going to have to get
I have to go back in. So it was not an easy process really at the airport. It was kind of a pain in the butt. If you got to go down there, get in the parking lot, and it's a long way to the office. It was way upstairs. So not at all convenient. So to be able to go into our local tax collector office just for that, I'm excited about. But that's one of so many things that you have done.
Oh, yeah, well, it continues. I believe in continuous improvement.
Right. You certainly do.
Just keep, all the staff has ideas and they're all engaged, and we keep making things better and better and better. The other thing, I partnered with the Department of Agriculture and Consumer Services to bring us concealed weapons. Now, we made it one stop. In the past, you had to go get a photograph somewhere, and you had to get your fingerprints somewhere, then go down south, and it was months before you got your concealed weapons. I helped with the legislation to get this through. And, my former spouse was taught and he was always frustrated because people couldn't get the concealed weapon. Well, he would be proud of this. And I did this for him that you can, get it, pretty quick.
Yeah.
So we do the new application. You come in and you fill the application online, and we upload it to the Department of Agriculture because they do all the background checks and things like that to make sure that, you're safe. And we take the picture right in the room and the fingerprints in the room, and it goes and you get the concealed weapons pretty quick. Now, we do the renewals right on site. You're in and out in 5 minutes with that permit in your hand.
Incredible.
And all you need for that is your driver's license, and then you need proof of a firearm safety training course to get the permit. Now, we do that at the Willoughby office and the Hobe Sound office. And within next, Monica, we plan in a week or so, we're opening a third new concealed weapons office out in Indiantown. It's all renovated, and as soon as the equipment gets there, we'll be doing it out there too.
That is wonderful. And I can tell you, I have CWP experience as well. I used to have to go down to West Palm Beach, and it was crowded, tons of people. So to have that local service here, again, hats off to you. That is huge.
Well, thank you.
It's our money at work, and I'm glad to hear about it.
And that is bringing a lot of revenue into the county, which helps keep our taxes low. It's
instead of going somewhere else. I love it.
We always put services that people need,
right?
That
we're going to use.
We're going to use, and we're going to be
keep
good at.
People here. We don't have to drive down to West Palm.
Yes,
it's amazing.
And I next partnered with the Department of Transportation to carry sun passes. Now, there's new sun passes coming out, which they were supposed to be in January, and we didn't get them yet. They're in production, but this new sun pass is going to be cheaper. It's going to be, I think, $19 instead of $24. It's going to take you all the way up to Maine and all the way across the West
Oh,
Coast.
you're kidding me. So it's outside of Florida.
Right. Now, a year ago, I made a contract with Central Florida Parkway, CFX, and we've been clearing tolls for over a year.
Okay.
So that's nice and convenient. We had a problem with them putting holds on the tags. You'd come in and you couldn't renew your tag until you cleared that.
Okay.
So we stepped in and we cleared them right there at our office for you. So you don't have to wait.
Oh, nice.
And
nice.
I have 10 tolling authorities lined up when the new SunPasses come that I'm signing with. So very shortly in the next couple weeks, we'll be clearing tolls in the entire state. We will be able to do them on the entire state.
Incredible.
And we
wonderful.
just installed contactless pin pads, which gives us a higher level of safety. You've seen the glass that we built and for the safety of the staff and for the constituents. But we put in contactless pin pads, and for two reasons, not just the safety. It cuts down the transaction time. Now, what we always do, if we can find a minute we save, you multiply that by 60 clerks, that's an hour and our wait time goes down. And people
Okay.
don't like to wait. So we try to
No, they
stay
don't.
as quick as we can. So we just started them. And I did something that no one else ever did. And the state was so excited about it. They wrote an article. It really bothered me that all of our business was going overseas and our jobs and everything. So
Me too, by the way. I can
yes.
hear you.
So here is an article that the state wrote because I made an educational video. And how about do I have time just quick read
Yes,
this?
absolutely,
The
you
state
do.
wrote this, not me. As an elected official, Martin County Tax Collector Ruth Pietraszewski wanted to do her part to help save tax dollars and implement cost-saving programs. She had an idea for a video which began from a conversation she had with a German gentleman who was in Florida on vacation. He explained how different the processes were in Europe from America. He felt if Europeans knew what documents they needed to bring and understood how to title, register, and insure a vehicle in America, they would buy vehicles here when they came on vacation and have the option to either store them here or ship them back to Germany. Ms. Pietraszewski says, the light bulb came on. Instead of our jobs and products being shipped overseas, we could teach Europeans what they needed to bring to America and bring business back over here. We would bring more sales tax into the state of Florida, more vehicle fees for our county, and help our local car dealers, salespeople, auto parts, insurance agents, and storage facilities. And so she created an educational video on how to buy a vehicle in America. And I did meet a lady. I have this video on my website. This German used our website and renewed his tag. He promised me he would do that. It costs us no money to do it. And I met a lady she was in one of the CARES presentations. She was all excited when she met me because she said, I saw your video online. And the video is still online. And hopefully, I don't know how many people it helped, but everyone it helps is good.
Does that apply to boats as well? I know boats are something that are purchased internationally.
It will probably cover. It was mostly over vehicles because they seem to want the classic cars. They were all into the classic cars and they want to come over here and buy them.
Okay.
So that was good. It's bringing us.
Right.
Now, my
business.
newest project and my coolest one of my favorite stores is Publix. I love Publix. They have such good customer service. Okay?
And wonderful subs.
Well, yeah, I eat subs for lunch all the time. Anyway, I partnered and I'm still not through it. I have one contract that expired for the time because I had to get quite a few different contracts to do this. And I'm going to put a kiosk in Publix. So you'll be able to do your services, get your tag or your registration.
How incredibly
every
convenient.
day except Christmas and Thanksgiving.
Oh,
You'll be able to do it on Sundays, on evenings, anytime. And we're starting with one Publix to see if it will work out. And then if it works out, we'll be putting them in other places.
Can you share which Publix that is?
I'm not sure. They
which
haven't
one
given
yet?
me,
Okay.
and I've got to do a lot of transactions to keep it. So I've got to some way get advertising out because, we have Facebook, but there's, if people know it's
If they're
there, I'm
not,
sure.
right.
I mean, how convenient can that be?
Oh, people will be using
They'll
it
love it.
all of the time.
Yeah.
That's a huge idea. And, congrats to you. I mean, there's,
Yeah. Oh, my favorite services are TSA, and when I tell them about the tolls, people appreciate that too.
I was going to ask you on the tolls. If you have a SunPass already, do you need to get the new sticker for it to cover, or will the old ones automatically update?
No, I think you'll have to get the new one. They were talking about retiring the first ones, but then they changed that.
Okay.
And they were supposed to be done in January. Then they were supposed to be done in March, and we still haven't received them.
Okay.
So I don't know, but I think Monica, you're going to be allowed to turn in your old SunPass for the.
From what they've told us so far, yes.
Okay. So do you get credit for it or something, or you just exchange
You
it?
just
or-
exchange it.
Well, that's great.
Yeah.
Just exchange is
Yeah.
wonderful. So that'll
And
be
they're supposed to
huge.
be 19 instead of 24.
Now, are they going away from the by plate ID? Will all be SunPass? I know, like south of here, it has the camera where you can just do by plate.
Yeah, they do that with getting the toll violations. I don't think they were talking about going all electronic.
Oh, that I think that actually makes sense because
yeah. It's just that
my family in the end they had someone that took the plate, stole a plate, and then was using it. So it's like we had to get that all straightened out. It was ridiculous, but
Yeah,
this way that doesn't happen. You have a sticker.
that's I had a couple real issues with customers that the software was reading a W and M, and they were getting and they sat in my office and cried. And I was calling the tolling authorities, and I thought, we need to help people. We need to be able to clear the tolls instead of them waiting months to get their
Right.
tag, or because after your tag, I think they take your driver's license away.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So, and
How stressful. I can see why they were so
yeah,
upset.
Yeah.
So-
They people get, I mean, our services are critical, and
They certainly are.
and I mean, that's why we worked the entire COVID.
Yes.
And because they're critical, you have to have your driver's license. You have to have all these things. I mean, you can't, without your driver's license, you can't visit somebody in the hospital.
Right.
You
Right.
can't go pick up your prescriptions. That license is so important.
It is. It is. That ID, you absolutely need it in so many different instances. Tony Stevens, appreciate you tuning in. I don't know if you're familiar, but Foghat, he helped found Foghat, Fool for the City. Yeah. So he's tuning in, and I think he's interested in your video here because he's in England. So he comes over. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Eric Miller, appreciate you tuning in as well. Appreciates that you're saving so much money here for the county and bringing new revenue in.
Every year, and that's why I partner with all these other agencies. If I just stayed with the three that I am constitutionally committed to do, we've given the county, the taxing authorities back $3 to $4 million every year. And I was so proud of my staff during COVID because we came up with IDs. We had a half a day's notice that we weren't going to be allowed to have the public in. So I had to get all the glass built, and I built my glass different than everybody. I gave all the cashiers a microphone, and 3 feet down is an intercom. So there's never any face-to-face interaction. The glass is flush. They're never going to catch anything. And nobody got sick through COVID. And we had people coming in.
That's huge.
But what we did, it was funny. When I got the call that we had to close down, I came out and I said, come on, guys, let's brainstorm. We've got to get everything online, do everything that we can. And there was an older gentleman that came up to me and he said, Ruth, he said, not only do I not computer savvy, but I don't even have a computer. And I said, well, do you have a cell phone? He said, yeah. He said, everybody has a phone. So I thought that's what we have to do, the phone, because 45% of our residents are seniors.
Right.
So what we did, we have a phone center of 4 people answering the phones because I don't like the girls on the counter taking calls.
Okay.
They're focusing. So we programmed the phones so it went from 1 to 70. It went around to all the clerks at Willoughby. If they weren't signed on, it just skipped.
Okay.
Then it skipped to Palm City, skipped to Indiantown, skipped to Hobestown. It went round robin.
Somebody was always there to answer.
Right, because that bothers me when you get a recording, you don't get a human being.
That's right.
So you get a human being. So everybody had the same amount of work, the same amount of calls. And then what we did, because people didn't have computers, we gave them all the ability to do the electronic banking if the person didn't even have a computer. Well, I was so worried because, we fund essential services and I bring the money in and give it to everybody else. And when we ran the numbers, I was really scared. We made $3 million more in that time because we had done, and I brought the numbers to show you, we had brought like 327 checks in at that time last year with people walking in.
Okay.
And now we brought 3,600.
Oh my.
So, I went to the commission meeting and I said, we're not behind financially. We're Martin County strong. We're fine. And this is a picture of how the phones work. They went around robin, and we made a dashboard so that if you called in, you weren't going to get the same clerk when you had 70 phones going off.
Right.
So we had a dashboard. If you didn't finish the service, you'd put in there like so-and-so needs to do their insurance. So they didn't have to tell the whole story over again.
Oh, perfect.
So
perfect.
here's that we had 327 checks this time last year and 3,600 this year. So we made $3 million more.
$3 million
And
more. That
here's
is
the
absolutely
numbers
incredible.
that we had a different system from there, but it was, we were on board. And what we also did is we posted on the website a list of how you could get your services during this time. Because now this amazing person made a
I know it.
13-step way to get, what was it, the title without coming in.
Out of states, in
And-
states.
Oh
Yeah,
my gosh.
we did all that. And what we did, we put the links on so you didn't have to surf the
Okay.
web. You
Right
clicked it
there.
on, and this would tell you you can't do this online, but the DL suspensions, the FR
Okay.
suspensions, all your driver's license stuff we did by phone.
Oh my gosh.
And
okay.
we did
You
everything.
kept rocking and rolling
Yes,
right through when
we-
nobody
we-
else was.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And I know people are going to want to listen back to this show because you have covered so many different topics of what the tax collector office is doing. You know, it's not just obviously collecting taxes.
They don't realize, and they don't realize that we have to stay on top of everything
Right.
because we pay our own bills, and then we give money back to the taxing authorities.
You give
and
it
we
back to
distribute
taxes.
it all.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why when COVID hit, I was like, and I got the call, people can't come
shut down.
in. I thought,
right. What are we
but
going to
we
do?
did everything online, by phone, by mail.
Everything.
And I was so proud of these girls because in the beginning they were so scared. And that's why I wanted the glass. That was a big project, the glass that we did.
Right.
We got that done, what, in 6 days or was it 12 days?
We got the main office in Hope Sound open up within like 4 or 5 days, and then we did the smaller offices after that. And I think all totaled, I think maybe 2 weeks
Oh my goodness.
took us to
She
get
did the
everything
drill
up and
till,
going.
what, 2 o'clock in the morning on the glass because I
Oh,
was
bless
afraid of breaking
you.
that glass. And I was doing the tiny little screws. But it was a very short time so that we got opened up to
So
the
you didn't
public.
hire this done. You guys
But,
did this yourself?
No, we hired somebody to design it.
She
because
put us to work.
Well, she didn't have any help. And we had to
is
get
much
it
more.
done
Right.
because I did not want the staff to get sick. And
Right.
nobody got sick during that time.
That
It was
is
amazing.
absolutely
It
incredible.
was amazing. And then we split it like we opened up with the new system. They had half a day training. My
Mhm.
staff was amazing. I had 2 offices answer the phone and the other 2 offices train.
Okay.
And then we flipped in the afternoon, 2 offices trained and the other ones answered the phone.
Answer the phone.
And they one afternoon and they had it down.
Well, Ruth, you said it over and over today while you're sitting there in that very chair about your staff being amazing.
They
and
are amazing.
you told me that, and you said, "Can I bring Monica Valley in with you because she is one of your many rock stars that you have there."
Mhm.
And it's the team that makes this office work so well. So, Monica, you've been so patient back there and quiet, but tell us a little bit about what you do and how long have you been with the tax collector office?
It's more, I think it would take less time for me to tell you what we don't do.
Okay.
We pretty much do a little bit of everything. Our main goal is to make sure our customers are happy. We want to make sure that everybody gets taken care of as quickly and as efficiently as possible. We did have a lady come in. They had a big birthday party. They were going up to New York or Maine or something, and the dealer had messed up their paperwork. So their registration was no good on their car. It was their granddaughter's first birthday, and it was a big deal.
Right.
And she had called Ruth, and Ruth was like, "You know what? We have the people. We're going to get this taken care of for you." We sat on the phone with the bank and the dealership, and we got it taken care of. And we sent a package to Maine so that we can make sure that they had everything that they needed. She sent us flowers just to tell us that you've
Why
renewed.
she sent me flowers. This one comes to me and she said, because they were in tears. They had this,
Oh my
this
gosh.
thing to go to, and her sister spent all this money. And her husband had said, don't even bother to go to the tax collector. Government people don't care. And I didn't know he said that.
Okay.
So this one comes to me. She goes, oh, it's a birthday. Can I go get a birthday card and put it in there? I said, sure. So we put the birthday card in. And next thing we know, it gets to Maine. We get this florist come and send us both a big thing
Oh.
of flowers. And it said, you have restored our faith in government.
Wow.
So
That has just got to make
Yes.
you kind of tingle a little bit because it's
Absolutely.
really special that somebody took the time and money. But on the other flip side of that, folks, how many times would you imagine calling the tax collector office and for you guys to call the car dealership and sit on the phone, make sure that the issue gets resolved? Of course, a baby's first birthday is everybody, nobody wants to miss it. Grandma,
No.
grandpa,
because
aunts,
the
uncles.
first call to the bank, they had a lien that shouldn't have been on there.
Ah,
And they said, we'll get to it when we get to it. I said, well, you're going to have to get to it because we have this deadline.
we're
So we got to it.
we're not getting off this phone
Yeah.
until you get to it.
We're
so-
going to have long conversations.
That is absolutely wonderful. But that's what the tax collector office does. You
We
guys
do.
really take that,
We
seriously.
care about the people we serve.
you go the
And
extra mile, right.
The staff does. I mean, they're very compassionate and they'll go above and beyond.
Well, and I'll give a huge shout out as well, because I moved here a while ago from Michigan, and we have the Department of Motor Vehicles up there, kind of the same thing. And it's like, oh, you just sit there forever, with your little number. You guys, even through COVID, move people in and out. It's actually quite incredible. Even you walk in, you might see half a dozen people, think you're going to wait a long time. You don't. You really are very efficient, and it shows. So
we want to change that stigma of being, oh, I got to go to the DMV. We actually have people say, oh, I get to go to the DMV. Oh, I get to come back and see you in a year.
Right.
And we want that.
And I'm going to be coming in for my TSA. So
you'll love Ellen. She's amazing.
Ellen, wonderful. And right in Palm City, it's very handy. The other thing you do is dog tags or animal tags, right?
Yeah.
The licenses.
Yeah,
So I have one of those too. I have to take care of. I got my little reminder notice in the mail. So,
but that bling for that doggy.
I know, exactly. She'll get her tag. So, but there's just so many things. And Ruth, anything else? I mean, I can't even imagine. I feel a little foolish even asking this question, but is there anything else on the horizon that you have planned for the tax collector's office?
Yes, I have some online things that.
Oh my goodness.
But I've got to get through I have 10 tolling authorities to get online before the sun passes come, and I've got to get the kiosks in.
Okay.
And that's a lot of, I have some contracts and things.
Kiosk is going to be very exciting.
I
at
know.
Publix.
I
can't wait for that to happen. And, that's one thing, you can't make that more convenient because everybody goes grocery shopping. So, and everybody loves
Sunday
Publix.
You realize something's expired, you can go get it there.
Get it done right while you're shopping. It's a one-stop shop. It's amazing. You can get your COVID at Publix. Now you can get the tax collector issues, whatever it happens.
Get your
to be.
lotto ticket, become a millionaire. We're all
good. From your lips to God's ears. Let's get our lotto tickets and be millionaires. But I had this list here, and Ruth covered it all. It's huge what the tax collector office does, and I'm not even.
Oh, I only told you part of it.
I was going to say,
we do well permits. We do just all
everything.
Kinds of things: business tax, tourist development tax,
so much
TPP. I mean, we didn't even get to the tax part because that's all the real estate and all of that we do.
Right. Well, that's what everybody knows you for. These are the things that you maybe didn't realize.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you coming in to share with the listeners everything that you do. And I'm sure they're going to want to listen back to this show because there's so much that we did cover. And Ruth and Monica, appreciate you both coming in here today.
Thank you.
And congratulations. And that story you told with the woman from Maine with the lien on their car tag, it's huge. So it just one little story of many, I'm sure, that the tax collector will help out with. So Ruth, thank you for coming in today. Monica, thanks for coming in.
For having us.
And we are out for today.